Itong lahat daw, Mama Sapano, MILF, nagsimula sa JABIDAH, so-called massacre. So we will show that the Inquirer is twisting history in favor of interpreting it for Ninoy, Cory, the Yellows, and the foreign interests, Malaysia, the British, and the US. Because this problem did not start with the JABIDAH project, Operation Merdeka. This JABIDAH story was one of the trigger for their activism as dissenting Muslims in the University of the Philippines.
President Marcos went to Corregidor together with all the tri-media before at that time and conducted the head count of all the trainees. And only 8 were missing. So he ordered the NBI, the CIDG, the Criminal Investigation Group of the Philippine Constabulary, and the AFP to look for the 8 missing trainees. Now, it turned out that when the investigators went to the families of the 8 trainees, the families were not complaining that any one of their relatives were killed. In fact, they were hiding. They were hiding their relative trainees. Why? Because it is the conclusion of the investigators that these 8 were actually deserters. And at that time, the punishment for desertion was death by firing squad.
Kung talagang napatay yung mga yon, di yung mga kamag-anak would have been complaining, protesting, and so on. No, instead, they wanted to keep quiet because...
And they were hiding the 8.
They were hiding,
That's why we are not free, because we have not told the truth.
That's right. And, well, we are telling the truth now.
We are free.
Jibin Araula went to Governor Montano.
Haraula was supposedly the only survivor.
Yeah, he claims to be the only survivor of a massacre.
Lumangoy daw siya, kaya siya na
He
hindi
swam
napatay.
all the way from Corregidor
To Cavite.
But my late uncle, who was a commander of the Philippine Navy, told me that even ships find it hard to go through that navigate those seas because there was strong current. And a human being, it's impossible for a human being to swim all the way from Corregidor to Cavite. Later on, Jibin Araula changed his statement and said that a group of fishermen fished him out from the seas.
Ay, sabi ko, ang reaction ko nga, baka yung fisherman si Montaño. At saka yung Montano. Tapos yung fishing boat ay yung smuggling boat na ginagamit doon sa Cavite, di ba? Totoo ba yun? Ano bang kwento doon?
Yun ang mga kasinungalingan na ibinibigay sa taong bayan. Pero sino ba yung may sabi na I think it was a German propagandist who said, lies told many times become the truth.
That's Joseph Goebbels.
Goebbels.
Anyway, that dispenses of Haraula's testimony. What about the 24 daw na massacre?
Haraula told the Court of First Instance and all the investigating bodies, including the Senate and the House of Representatives, that he believes that the first batch of the 24 trainees were in fact massacred. But according to Ninoy Aquino himself, and I will quote him, meanwhile, in Holo yesterday, I met the first batch of 24 recruits aboard RP-68. This is the boat of the Philippine Navy. This group was earlier reported missing or even worse, believed, quote-unquote, massacred. William Patarasa, 16 years old, one of the recruits, denied knowledge of any massacre. And Ninoy went on to say, after interviewing the self-asserted massacre survivor, Jibin Araula, doubt nagged me that there had indeed been a massacre. And the Court of First Instance of Cavite dismissed the case because the judge said that Jibin Araula was an unreliable witness and may have some mental imbalance.
We have to take this break now. Tutuloy po natin. There are more facts, including Ninoy's admission that there was no massacre.
When Ninoy went to Sulu, he said that it was a joke. I mean, the whole thing about the JABIDAH massacre was a joke. Now, I was wondering, who is telling the truth here? Is it Ninoy, who was the one who delivered the privileged speech?
That's right.
By the way, in the floor of the Senate, denouncing the so-called JABIDAH massacre. And later, in effect, his recantation when he said that it was a joke. No?
Yeah. Well, we have statements that is on record sa Senate, no, that eventually he said there was no massacre. Doon sa act ni Marcos and the acts of Ninoy on the JABIDAH controversy, what is patriotic? I will not say who. Which act is patriotic? Which act is treasonous?
The act of Marcos is patriotic, of
Okay.
course. The act of Ninoy is treasonous. It's very clear.
And
The
in
way
fact,
treason is defined.
I think Marcos appealed to Ninoy to keep it down because it is national interest.
Yes.
Ferdy.
In fact, Ninoy at that time, being with the opposition, was the representative of the minority in the National Security Council. Now, in the National Security Council, when you find out something that is a national secret, a state secret, you are not supposed to tell it to the whole world because you are bound, duty-bound to keep it a secret. But Ninoy Aquino, after learning about the Operation Merdeka, delivered a privileged speech ostensibly revealing or exposing a so-called massacre that did not happen, just to have a justification to reveal to the whole world the secret plan of the Philippine government to retake what is rightfully ours.
That's right.
So he violated his oath of office as a member of the National Security Council and as a senator of the Republic. I would like to call on our Senate and the House of Representatives, Senator Cayetano in particular, and Congressman Jonathan De La Cruz, to investigate the National Historical Institute. Why did they put up a marker there commemorating the so-called JABIDAH massacre? What was the basis of the NHI for declaring that there was a massacre? Now, if there is no such massacre that can be proven, and it has already been proven by the court, the investigating bodies, the old Senate and the old House, we can still check the records. If there was indeed no massacre, then the National Historical Institute should be given by the Senate and the House 1 peso budget, or they should be abolished.
No,
Or
they're
it's-
criminally charged
well,
for falsifying history.
While the marker was being unveiled, they were all crying for a unique case. This is the only case in the world wherein in a massacre, no one died.
Umiyak ba si Hataman doon sa SAF 44? Umiyak ba si Hataman doon sa 19 Marines
Hindi.
na napugutan ng ulo sa Basilan?
Philippine Scout Rangers, 19 in Albarca, Basilan. And 14,
Albarca.
that was in 2011. And then 14 Marines in Albarca also in 2007.
Umiyak ba sila Dina Abad? Umiyak ba itong 47, 35 kongresista na mga nagpirma nito? Ano?
So they would not cry over a genuine massacre, but they have the tears for a massacre that did not happen.
No, I did not see the television footage about their
Crying.
crying. But what I noticed is in all the publications in the papers, all of them are smiling in celebration of the massacre.
There was a massacre. We were massacred with lies.
And Truth was massacred too.
Truth was
And
massacred.
the rightful ownership of the Philippines over Sabah was massacred. Malaysia's Prime Minister at that time, Tunku Abdul Rahman, probably called for a secret national celebration after Ninoy's speech because it was indeed a celebration for Malaysia because from that time on, we were no longer actively pursuing our claim over Sabah because of the privileged speech of Ninoy Aquino exposing the secret plan of his own country to retake what is rightfully ours.
Sabah is owned by the Republic of the Philippines. We have sovereignty and dominion. Ang problema natin ay when the passage of the Korea Constitution, the phrase there about historic claims disappeared.
That's right. Oh.
It disappeared. When it disappeared, Malaysia felt that it strengthened its claim to Sabah because after all, the claim of the Republic of the Philippines is historic on Sabah. Nawala yan.
Kaya from the a republic's point of view, treasonous yung pagtanggal ng term historic claims, territories where we have historic claims. Hindi yan napapag-usapan, hindi yan ipapaliwanag nitong pahayagang ito.